If you are already on Medicare or about to enroll, there is something you need to understand right now. Because most retirees believe one simple idea that is costing them thousands of dollars every single year. They believe their Medicare bill is fixed, set, final, non-negotiable. But that is not true. And the system is not going to tell you when it is wrong. There is no alert that says your premium is higher than it should be. No letter that says you are overpaying by hundreds of dollars a year. No automatic correction in the background. The system simply charges you and continues charging you until you question it. Now here is where the real problem begins. Most Medicare costs are not just one flat number. They are built from multiple layers: your base premium, your income-based adjustments, your eligibility for savings programs, and your tax history from years ago. That means a mistake in any one of these layers can quietly increase your monthly cost without you realizing it. And when that happens, the impact is not small. We are talking about hundreds of dollars per month, which can easily turn into over $4,000 per year. Now let me show you how this actually happens in real life. A retired teacher signs up for Medicare right after turning 65. She receives her bill. She pays it, month after month, year after year. She assumes everything is correct because the amount never changes in a dramatic way. But what she does not know is that her income from 2 years earlier is being used to calculate an additional charge on her Medicare premium. That number is called an income adjustment, and it is based on old tax data, not her current retirement income, not her current financial situation, just a snapshot from the past. And here is the issue. If that snapshot is wrong, outdated, or no longer represents her situation, the system does not automatically fix it. It keeps charging her anyway. Now multiply that by 12 months, and suddenly you are not looking at a small error. You are looking at thousands of dollars disappearing every year, quietly, without warning. Now there is another layer most retirees never hear about. And this one is even more important. Because while some people are overpaying without knowing it, others are missing programs that could completely reduce or even eliminate their Medicare costs. Programs designed specifically for low and moderate income seniors. But here is the catch. These programs are not automatically applied. You have to know they exist, and you have to apply for them yourself. Otherwise, they simply sit unused, while you keep paying full price. This is where most of the financial loss actually happens. Not from big mistakes, but from missed information and outdated assumptions. Now I want to be clear about something. This is not about blaming Medicare. The system is massive. Millions of people are processed through it every year. But the system does not audit your personal situation. It does not check whether you qualify for savings programs, and it does not automatically adjust when your income changes in retirement. That responsibility falls on you, and most people are never told that. So they keep paying the default amount, even when they do not have to. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to think about your own situation for a moment. Not emotionally, practically. Do you actually know why your Medicare premium is the exact amount it is today? Or are you just paying what shows up on the bill every month? Because in the next part, I'm going to show you exactly how these charges are calculated, the specific income triggers that increase your premium, and the one adjustment process that could reduce your costs starting this year. And yes, this is where most retirees finally realize they have been overpaying for years without knowing it. Now let's go deeper into what is actually happening behind your Medicare bill, because once you understand this part, you will never look at that monthly premium the same way again. Your Medicare cost is not random, it is calculated, and that calculation is based on a system that uses information from your past, not your present. That single detail is where most retirees lose money without realizing it. Here's how it works. Medicare looks at your income from 2 years ago, not last year, not this year, 2 years back, and based on that old income, it decides whether you should pay just the standard premium or a higher amount every single month. Now think about what that means in real life. Maybe you were still working 2 years ago. Maybe you sold a property. Maybe you had a one-time income event. Maybe your spouse was still alive and you were filing jointly. All of that can raise your recorded income for a single year. But Medicare does not ask what your situation is today. It only looks at that old number, and if that number is high, your premium stays high, even if your current income has dropped significantly, even if you are fully retired now, even if you are struggling to keep up with daily expenses, the system does not adjust automatically. Now this is where the problem becomes serious, because many retirees assume, if my income drops, my Medicare cost will also drop. But that only happens if you take action, and most people never do. Now let's talk about something even more overlooked. There is another category of retirees who are overpaying for a completely different reason. They are eligible for help, but they never apply. There are state-level programs designed to reduce or fully cover Medicare costs for people within certain income ranges. These programs can lower or even remove your monthly premium. They can reduce co-pays. And in some cases, they can remove deductibles entirely. But here is the problem. These programs do not automatically enroll you. There is no automatic screening that guarantees you are placed into them. You have to request it. You have to apply. And you have to know it exists in the first place. So what happens instead? Millions of retirees simply keep paying full price, month after month, year after year. Not because they don't qualify, but because no one ever told them to check. Now let me show you another major issue that happens inside the system. Even when retirees are charged correctly based on old income data, that data can still become outdated very quickly. A spouse passes away, a retirement begins, a business closes, a rental property is sold. Any of these events can drastically reduce your real income. But Medicare does not automatically update your file to reflect that change. Instead, it keeps charging you based on the older, higher income record, unless you file for a review. And that is the step most people miss. Now, I want to be very direct here. This is not a technical loophole. This is how the system is designed to function. It assumes stability. It assumes your income stays similar to what it was on your last tax record, and it does not continuously reassess your situation unless you initiate the process. That means silence equals overpayment. Now let's connect this to a real example. A retiree stops working at 66. His final working year includes full-time income. The following year, he lives entirely on Social Security. But Medicare is still using that previous year's tax return to calculate his premium. So he continues paying a higher monthly amount, even though his financial reality has completely changed. Over time, that difference adds up, hundreds per year, sometimes more than $4,000 annually, depending on the adjustment level. And the frustrating part is this: nothing is hidden. The rules are public. The forms exist. The process is available. But without guidance, most people never connect the dots. Now here's the part where things become actionable. Because there are only a few situations where your Medicare cost can actually change in your favor, and almost all of them depend on you reporting a life change or requesting a review. That includes retirement, loss of income, death of a spouse, or a major financial shift that no longer reflects your old tax return. When those changes happen, you can request a recalculation. And if approved, your monthly premium can be reduced going forward, sometimes significantly. Now I want you to understand something important. This is not about gaming the system. This is about correcting outdated information. Because Medicare is not constantly monitoring your current life situation. It is working off historical data, and historical data does not always reflect reality. Now, before we finish, let's bring this full picture together. If your income was higher 2 years ago, you may be overpaying right now. If your income dropped and you never reported it, you may still be overpaying. And if you qualify for assistance programs but never applied, you are almost certainly overpaying. Different paths, same result. Money leaving your account that does not need to. And the most important part, None of this corrects itself automatically. It only changes when you take action. So here is what I want you to do after this video. Not immediately, not emotionally, but practically. Take a moment and look at your Medicare statement. Look at your premium. Ask one simple question. What is this number based on? Because if you cannot answer that clearly, then the next step is understanding whether it is still accurate. And that is exactly what this channel is here to help you figure out. Because small errors in systems like this do not stay small. They compound, year after year, quietly, until someone finally looks closely enough to notice. And by then, the difference is already thousands of dollars. If this helped you understand something you were never told before, make sure you subscribe to Robert Preston. And in the next video, I am going to break down how retirees accidentally lose money through Social Security timing decisions, and how a simple change can affect lifetime income more than most people expect.